First things first, let's start with the actual meaning of the word hustler. Google is your friend. Hustler. H-U-S-T-L-E-R. UrbanDictionary.com defines the word hustler as someone who knows how to get money from others, selling drugs, rolling dice, pimping. YourDictionary.com defines hustler as a person who makes money by doing something dishonest. CollinsDictionary.com says if you refer to someone as a hustler, you mean that they try to earn money or gain an advantage from situations they are in by using dishonest or illegal methods. A hustler is a prostitute, especially a male prostitute. Dictionary.cambridge.org defines hustler as someone who tries to deceive people into giving them money, or a prostitute, a person who has sex for money. OxfordDictionaries.com defines a hustler as a person adept at aggressive selling or illicit dealing. Dictionary of Synonyms, and you know synonyms are words that mean the same. So Dictionary of Synonyms gives the following synonyms for the word hustler, meaning you can replace the word hustler with any of these names: whore, hooker, slattern, prostitute, streetwalker, harlot, tramp with an A, but I guess you could still use a U, slut, swindler, deceiver, cheat, fraud, trickster, charlatan, conman, crook, criminal, convict, bitch, cheater, poor reputation, public dishonor, shady reputation, unsavory reputation, scoundrel, imposter, bad character, bad reputation. Now, I pray thee tell, how can any of these definitions be good? How can anyone in the prime of their youth be proud to call themselves any of these things? I know there are some prominent and supposedly successful fellows who have publicly described themselves as hustlers. I take it that it is a self-description telling us who they are and how they acquired their alleged immense wealth. So who am I to contradict them? After all, hustler is not a description of wealth or status. It is a description of an individual's methods and sense of self-worth. However successful a hustler is, it never changes who they are. Hustler is a state of mind. So for a young 23-year-old graduate to imagine that describing himself as a hustler is okay points to a serious sickness in society. I have called it a self-description, and the question that immediately comes to mind is, what's in a name? A lot. When I would teach theory of literature to my university students, I would constantly remind them the fact that language is constitutive. What do we mean by language is constitutive? Language conditions, limits, and predetermines how we see and perceive our world. You have been told that language records reality. That may be correct, but a more fundamental truth is that language shapes and creates reality. This means that the whole of our universe is a text, and put differently, we create our reality by what we say and how we describe ourselves. We are what we call ourselves, and we become the tales we tell. What you call yourself, or when you call yourself a hustler, you are creating a hustler personality, a hustler reality, and a hustler universe around yourself. Since time immemorial, the names we call ourselves define our identity, our reality, and our destiny. The best example I can give you is in the Bible, and when God wanted to give a mission to someone, the first indicator of what that mission was would be the name. If God wanted to give a new direction or a new mission to someone, often the first thing would be to change their name. A new name would create a new reality, not just describe it or communicate it. So when you call yourself a hustler, you are creating a reality that is self-denigrating, demeaning, fleeting, defeated, directionless, and self-limiting. For a 23-year-old or any youth to call or to create this kind of reality for themselves, it's truly, truly tragic. Hustler is the opposite of the promise of youth. Youth is the greatest asset an individual or a society can possess. Hustler is what you become when you fail to realize your true value. My favorite expression on youth comes from my native Kikuyu language when we say, "Mwanake ni kienyo kia Ngai." A young man is a slice of God. They recognize that the creative potential of youth is nothing short of divine. Its possibilities are boundless. Youth is a time of opportunity, hope, and self-definition. A young person calling himself a hustler is undermining everything that the promise of youth brings. When youth says deep, hustler says shallow. When youth says straight, hustler says crooked. When youth says legit, hustler says illicit. When youth says authentic, hustler says fake. When youth says pure, hustler says dirty. When a young person ignorantly calls themselves a hustler, they sabotage all the possibilities of youth and settle for the dishonest, the deceptive, the illicit, the shallow, the crooked, and the dirty. Sometimes young people call themselves hustlers because they are upstarts, whether at a workplace or whether trying something of their own. It is supposed to describe the fact that they are small, just starting out. This is even more dangerous. I would rather an idle young person doing nothing much with their youth calling themselves hustlers. But if you are truly into building something meaningful and you have a vision of building something truly significant, you cannot call yourself a hustler just because of its humble beginnings. I think I will have to do a complete episode to illustrate for you the difference between small beginnings and hustling. And yes, they are different, and look out for that episode. I have told you that a hustler is a state of mind, which, when spoken and narrated, creates a commensurate reality of perversion, shallowness, and crookedness. When you call yourself a hustler, while at the beginning of a big dream, you jinx yourself. You attract the illicit and doom yourself to failure even before you try. The word hustler has found itself in the social dictionary of this country, popularized by unscrupulous individuals who care nothing about the future of our youth. Our young people have taken on the word without knowing it is dirty and without being aware of the pitfalls of calling themselves hustlers during the most promising and inspired time of their life. By calling yourself a hustler, you create that reality for yourself and jinx yourself to a life of dishonesty, mediocrity, and meaninglessness. Granted, you will be many things before you find your true fit and an authentic engagement with life. As you go in search of yourself, remember, we are the names we call ourselves. Call yourself what you may, provided that you now know and will always remember that hustler is a dirty word. For Matters Arising, I am Professor Michael Wainaina. I am not